Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Business Banger Spotlight with your girl, Lady J, right here on JQLM Radio, a division of Ego Entertainment Network. But before we continue, if this is your first time tuning in and you would like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in, this is what you would share. If you'd like to share with your family, friends, and followers on all the different ways that they can tune in to JQLM Radio, this is what you would share. You can tune in live by downloading the JQLM Radio app on your Apple or Android devices. You can also listen live via Alexa, the TuneIn app, the Simple Radio app, and a host of other platforms of which you can find on our website, where you can also listen live at egoentertainmentnet.com/JQLM-radio. Or just visit egoentertainmentnet.com and click the button right there on the home page. You can also connect with us via our website or social media at JQLM Radio. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Additionally, you can email us at jqlmradio@gmail.com. Find us under our parent company, Ego Entertainment Network, on social media at EGOENTNET. That's Ego Ent Net. You can also follow us on LinkedIn at Ego Entertainment Network. And last but not least, make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Ego TV Network. All right, now that you know how to tune in, we're going to let you know how you can follow Business Banger Spotlight. So if you would like to join Business Banger Spotlight and you want to learn more, you can connect with us at Business Bangers on Instagram, Facebook, and at businessbangercenters.com. You can follow myself, Lady J, the host, at ladyj.co on Instagram, Lady J Brand on Facebook, and Lady J on LinkedIn. I'm not real big on Twitter, but you can follow me there as well. Now, let's get into who our guest is today. Our guest is none other than Brian Clayton of Greenpal, and it's a very interesting company. So let's bring him on and learn more. Hi, Brian. Welcome.
Lady J, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, who you are and give a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so my name is Brian Clayton, and I'm co-founder of a company called Greenpal. Greenpal is an online mobile app that works like DoorDash or Postmates or Instacart or Uber, but for lawn care services. So if you own or rent a house, you've got a yard outside, you don't want to mow it yourself. It's going to get hot this summer. You can just download Greenpal, you pop your address in, and then lawn mowing services nearby you in your zip code compete for your lawn care. And you can hire the one you want to work with and pay them right through the app. And if everything goes well, you just push a button and it just happens. It just happens like clockwork in the background. So set it and forget it.
That's awesome. So before we get into, everything that Greenpal does, how did you transition into this and what were you doing before you started this company?
Yeah. So before I started this business, I was inventing something brand new when I started Greenpal. And I think when you're inventing something brand new, authenticity can be a competitive advantage. And so my first business was a landscaping company. I started mowing yards in high school, needed a way to make extra cash, and then I went to business school, and I didn't want to take on a bunch of student loan debt, so I kept mowing yards. And then when I graduated business school, I had to make a decision. Was I going to be a lawn guy for the rest of my life or go into the job market? And I started doing some back of the envelope math, and I realized I could make more money running my lawn business than I could than my friends were and getting a job somewhere. So I just said, okay, business ownership could be my lane in life. And I'm just going to try to grow this company as big as I can get it. And it took about 15 years, but I grew that landscaping business into a real company, about 150 employees. eventually getting it over $10 million a year in sales. And then it was acquired by a national company in the industry. And so after that, I took some time off, about a year off. And then the idea for Greenpal came to me when I took my first Uber. I remember flying to San Francisco for a conference and took my first Uber. And I thought, this is magical. This is the way the world is going. Someone's going to build this for lawn mowing. Why can't it be me? And that was where the inspiration started. And that was 10 years ago. So Greenpal is a 10-year overnight success and still growing.
That's awesome. I used to be a production scheduler for a multi-million dollar landscaping company
Oh,
here
wow.
in
Very
Westfield,
cool.
Indiana. I actually created a database for their irrigation and planting
Very cool.
customers for, I mean, you're talking about for all the major home builders, the new houses.
Incredible.
So,
So you know how big this industry can get.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I was
It, it,
surprised.
it really is surprising. You wouldn't think it, but the lawn mowing and landscaping industry is it's like it's $99 billion in the United States. So it's huge. And Greenpal has around 300,000 people using it to get lawn mowing, but
Mhm.
but there's over 1 million companies that cut grass in the United States. So we're just scratching the surface. We're just a drop in the bucket.
Right. Right. And you know, if you think about it too, I mean, every place you look around just about, you know, in the United States, I mean, there's landscaping, trees, grass, you know, plants and stuff everywhere. So, you know, you
Exactly.
have to upkeep those things or you know, outside wouldn't look as beautiful as it does.
Yeah, that's one of the telltale signs of if you're in a good neighborhood or not, is what do the lawns look like, and have they been mowed, and it's only getting bigger. And the other thing that's getting bigger is people want to use their phone as a remote control for their life. They don't want to go do their own grocery shopping anymore. They don't want to go pick up their takeout. They don't want to call a taxi company, and they also don't want to have to play phone tag with the lawn guy. And so that's kind of what we're a part of is this trend of your smartphone is like your personal assistant, and in some small way we hope we can make people's lives a little easier.
Right. And so, you know, I think there are some of us who are a little different, but I get you. Most of, you know, us today want everything to be, you know, immediate and microwave. For me, I still like to go grocery shopping and, you know,
I
go to the
love it.
stores, things of that sort. So
I love it.
I'm
Old
sorry, it
school.
just doesn't beat, you know, it doesn't be
Oh,
getting you on. But with that being said, so, you know, this success that you have garnered, you know, with this company, what, and I know you said you happened to be riding in the you know, in the Uber one day and this idea kind of came to you. So with Greenpal, does it only allow people to book for grass cutting, or can they get like can they book for, you know,
all the other
building,
stuff. Yeah.
well, planting, you know, planting plants and all that good stuff, where people want, you know, how people redo their, because landscaping does not just include, for those who don't know, does not just include cutting grass. And I know that from working in at the company that I was working at. So I mean, they do everything from selecting plants and planting those wherever it needs to be, you know, in the different yards, and doing the rocks or the mulch and all that kind of stuff. So what other services, if any, does Greenpal offer through that app?
Yeah. So it's a great question, because you're going to need a whole lot more than just lawn mowing. Uh, the lawn mowing is the on ramp, I guess you could say. When
Mhm.
you come to the homepage or you download the app, we have a philosophy of you have to explain what it is you can do for somebody in 3 seconds. And so in 3 seconds, you have to explain, okay, where am I? What can I do here? And why does it matter? And so we have crystallized the value proposition to, okay, this is the easiest way to get your lawn mowed without making a phone call, even if your grass is 4 feet tall. That's what it does.
Mhm.
Now, after you get set up and you're working with a lawn person that is doing a good job and you like how it's going, you can then layer on everything else you need to get done, whether it be gutter cleaning or shrub pruning or weed pulling or mulching
Oh,
or seeding, all of those things. But the first kind of initial use case to the market is the basic lawn mowing, because you're going to need to get somebody to do that, and that's pretty easy for these lawn companies to quote from their account. They can look at it and say, okay, I see the aerial imagery, I see the street view imagery, I see how many square feet it is. Okay, it's $45. And if you want to work with that person, then that's where the relationship starts, and then they can quote all of those additional things for you.
Awesome. So you offer those other things as well, gutter cleaning and all that. Okay, that's awesome. So tell me, what for the listeners, what would the pricing look like? Like, is it affordable? Is it expensive?
So when we first started 10 years ago, I thought we were in the business of building a system that helped create a competitive dynamic to where you could get the cheapest lawn mowing service possible. That's what I thought we were building, and that's what I thought the value proposition was. And so we set it up to orient around that, to kind of punch up the competitive dynamic between lawn care companies competing over your lawn mowing requests. And as time went on, and as we started talking to consumers, they would tell us, yeah, I hired somebody with my account, and they showed up, but they showed up 2 days late, and yeah, they were the cheapest, but I just wanted somebody to show up on time. And as time went on, we began to understand that people didn't really want the cheapest solution. They wanted somebody to show up when they were supposed to. That was the main pain point we were solving. So we then began to build a system around reliability and speed, and not so much how to incentivize service providers to provide the cheapest pricing. Now, that being said, the pricing is in the market. You know, if you went on Facebook Marketplace and asked for somebody to give you a price for lawn mowing, or you went to Angie's List, or you called 10 landscapers, and then you went to Greenpal and got quotes there, all of the pricing is going to be somewhere between $5, maybe $10 of one another. But you don't want to hire the $15 guy, because the $15 guy is probably not going to show up. And if he does, he's probably not going to be back next week. So the pricing is fair, but what really the value is just getting it done and not worrying about it anymore.
Okay. And so how can people utilize his app? Where do they find it?
Yeah. Just go to greenpal.com or download Greenpal in the App Store or the Google Play Store, and just pop your address in. You'll get quotes for free. The lawn care companies that pay to use it will submit their pricing for free. And then if you like any of the quotes and any of the reviews that you read from other Greenpal users, you can then hire one and work with them.
Okay, awesome. So, and it's available in the Google and App Store, correct?
Correct.
All right. And so, last but not least, what advice would you give to someone that is looking to be innovative and set apart in an industry where there are a plethora of choices, so that they can become successful?
It's so a couple things. Okay, so if there's a lot of competition in an industry that you're looking to get involved in, you have to look not necessarily for the transactions that are happening, but look for the transactions that aren't happening. For us, it was like nobody could get a lawn care service to mow their yard every 2 weeks, and nobody could get a lawn care service to show up on the day they were supposed to. So we attacked that because nobody else was doing that. And so you want to look for where is like the blue ocean of what it is I'm trying to do, and let me focus all of my time on that, rather than just slugging it out in the streets in what they call a red ocean, which is competing on price or just fiercely competing on something else. You want to look for the things that aren't happening and try to develop something around that. And the other thing is like I mentioned earlier, authenticity can be a competitive advantage. You know, try to innovate in something you've spent 5 or 10 years in, because you know it from the inside out. I think if you try to learn those things quickly before at the starting block, I think that's a recipe for failure.
Awesome. Well, Brian, I want to thank you so much for being my guest today. Thank you for letting us know about Greenpal. Awesome. and for, giving your words of encouragement to those who are entering into the entrepreneurship industry, and giving them a little bit of advice on how they can stand out.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you having me on. This was fun.
No problem. It definitely was fun for me. So listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Business Banger Spotlight with your girl, Lady J, right here on JQLM RADIO, a division of Ego Entertainment Network. And until next time, remember to keep banging in business. This is your girl, Lady J, and I'm out.